The others are safely over, and Cannalee still making the running, going quite easily. Cummerbund's making up some ground there with Mr. Kelly tucked in behind, ridden by Hoddy, a very experienced rider. There are some high hopes from Mr. Kelly this afternoon. Started as a clear favourite to 3-1. Mr. Kelly's making up some ground now on the outside.
Oh, come on, Cummerbund. Hope you're right, sir.
Fair way to go yet, Mogsy. That Cannon's lead is pretty good.
Cummerbund, come on.
Look at it. What did I tell you?
Relief going well, and Wallflower taking up 5th position. That's a game little horse, Wallflower. They're coming up now to the 7th, and it's still Cannon's lead with Cummerbund, Mr. Kelly, Wallflower, who's made up a bit of ground, and Relief Map. Up to the 8th now. This is a difficult jump.
That's the thing about Mr. Kelly, Ginger?
What do you mean?
Still
He's
there.
jumping very big.
As long as he clears him, I don't mind.
He's going through the top at Wiltshire last month.
So what?
Between these 5, and they're coming up to the 9th now, and Cannalee down. Yes, Cannalee is certainly down. I think he slipped a bit on the takeoff, and Wallflower is 3 or 4 lengths clear now and going well. Mr. Kelly coming after him. Cummerbund, Relief Map still there. Half a mile to go and 4 more fences. It could be Wallflower. They're approaching the 10th now, coming down the hill. That's Wallflower that you can see. Mr. Kelly coming up now with him still going very well. Cummerbund and Relief Map towering a little, I think. They're coming up to the 10th. They're up, and Wallflower took that very much better. Mr. Kelly towering a little, I think. Cummerbund coming up. He's nearly got him, and he's going after Wallflower. 1 more jump to go, the last fence. This is the first fence again. They're taking it for the second time. Wallflower 3 or 4 lengths clear of Mr. Kelly with Cummerbund and Relief Map coming up fast. They're up to it now, and Mr. Kelly made a mistake there. He looks very tired. Some people say he can't quite do 2 miles. Cummerbund and Relief Map are both going to catch him, and yes, here comes Hallmark. They've got Mr. Kelly. They're past him. Half a furlong to go, and Hallmark's coming out very fast, and Relief Map's there, but Cummerbund will win. He's striding away now, and nothing can catch him, and at the post will be Cummerbund. Yes, it's Cummerbund first, and Hallmark second, Relief Map and Mr. Kelly third and 4th, and there's another one coming in now looking very tired. Yes, that's Wallflower.
Who wants to hear about Mr. Kelly any longer? I don't. What a dog. What a donkey. What a 3-legged donkey.
Well, what do you make of that, Ginger?
Make of it. He calls himself a horse. He's all right for hanging clothes on. I don't make anything of it.
How did a horse that runs like that give Red Rose a 2-length beating 3 weeks ago?
You're a genius, you tell me.
Well, that settles it. The horse that won at Wiltshire wasn't Mr. Kelly.
You really think it was the switch, eh?
I do.
Well, what are you going to do?
I'm going to find out who did it and why.
And how do you go about doing that?
Now, look, Mr. Kelly was owned and trained by the same man.
Mr.
Right?
Riley, that's
Yes.
right.
I think we'll find out if Mr. Riley's got another horse that could look like Mr. Kelly.
If I remember right, the last time he went down there, he put a flea in your ear, didn't he?
He tried to.
Well, I can't see him bringing out all his horses for your inspection, Don.
I agree. I think someone else ought to go.
Oi. I know somebody by the name of Ginger Smart who usually finds himself doing things like that.
Pity they warned you off, Ginger. I always thought you had a great future as a jockey, just about the right weight.
That was way back in the old Stone Ages, boy.
But you'd still make a good stable lad.
A stable lad? Oh, come off it, Don. A stable lad? You mean with all that straw and all that... Oh, turn it up. Anyway, what are you going to do?
I'm going to see Vaughan. I think I know who's behind this little lot. Now, you get down to Riley's place and see what you can find out, Ginger, eh?
A stable.
All right, come on, don't hang about. Go on, get him inside. What are you trying to do, kill the poor brute? Yeah, and get down the office as soon as you're finished and hurry up about it.
Hello? I bet you're Lofty, aren't you?
Who are you?
Ah, you don't know me. You never seen me before. You might have heard of me. Ginger Cardew, that's me.
Cardew? I thought you were out in Australia.
Yeah, I've been there all my life, but just thought I'd come over to the old country and see how I could do, you know. Wasn't a bit of trouble over down under. Trying to ride a winner to lose. Yeah, they're getting too clever down there altogether.
Oh, you warned off?
More or less.
What are you doing now?
Nothing at all. I'm just looking around. Do you need any help?
Well, looking for anything in particular?
Well, no, not really. Just something to sort of keep me going like, you know. I may go to India soon.
Yeah, I could use you, Cardew.
Yeah?
I've got a brute of an horse here. You might be just a bloke to keep him in hand.
Yeah. What's wrong with him?
Oh, nothing much. Just a bit fresh, that's all.
Ah.
He's thrown a couple of the boys already. He's got a kick on him like a mule.
Oh, is that all?
Well, of course, I'd have to see the boss about it, but I'm sure it'll be okay.
Oh, sure.
Would you like to try him now?
Yeah. What? No. There's no need to hurry. Got plenty of time. Which one is he?
Third one down there.
You mean that one?
That's him.
Thanks very much.
Well, I'll go and see Riley about it.
Yeah, you do that. You do that.
Must have been very pleased for you.
Not bad. Don't like Mr. Kelly much, though.
What's the matter? A good favourite that didn't win? I thought bookmakers like that.
After that last time out at Wiltshire, so I wasn't taking any chances, and I laid off pretty heavily.
Who with?
Stevens. He seemed willing to risk his neck on it. Took 500 off me.
Did he? How long have you known Stevens?
3 or 4 years.
What do you know about it?
Well, he pays up, makes quite a good book. Seems a decent enough chap. Why do you ask?
Well, it just seems odd that when Mr. Kelly won at Wilchester, when no one expected it, he lays off a small fortune with you and other people. And then when it loses, he's taking bets.
I told you he's a good bookmaker.
That's not bookmaking, that's crystal gazing. What about Larry Hoyle? What was he doing?
Well, he seemed to think Mr. Kelly would lose, too.
Did that strike you as unusual?
Not particularly. He's a friend of Stevens. Probably took a tip from him.
I see. Well, thanks very much, Mr. Vaughan. I'll be seeing you.
You're still worried about this setup, aren't you?
No, I'm not worried. I see where I'm going. The only thing I am worried about is how I'm going to get there.
I want to see Steve. Don't waste my time, Miss Leslie.
Hello, Steve.
Who the hell do you think you are walking into my office like that?
I'm your right-hand man, or had you forgotten?
Continuous source of worry to me. Have you fixed up that job on the telephone exchange at Argus yet?
It's all under control, old boy, now don't worry. When you're ready to run Hot Point, that blur will be catered for.
Well, we're going to do the switch again this month. We're running Mr. Kelly twice before then. Force up the odds a bit more.
So Hot Point runs for him at the Argot meeting.
If you're sure you can manage things your end,
It's all under control.
well, you've got to be careful. A private detective called Don Carter was asking some very awkward questions after we made that packet at Wilchester.
I know we didn't get very far. He can't prove a thing as long as he doesn't find out we've got 2 horses. He had a word with the telephone man down there, too. But we rigged it up to look like a normal breakdown. We can do it again.
I'm only warning you, just be careful, that's all.
You worry too much.
I worried you into a fat share of £30,000, and don't you forget it.
My dear fellow, don't think I'm not grateful.
I don't care tuppence whether you're grateful or not. Just do your job properly and don't make any mistakes.
You know me, old boy.
Unfortunately. Now, look, I want you to take this note to Riley. We've got to warn him about Carter and Smart. No point in taking unnecessary risks.
Steve, you worry too much.
Look, Leighton, you do as I tell you.
How's Cardew making out, Lofty?
Oh, pretty good. Seems quite willing.
Wonder if it'd be wise to let him ride Mr. Kelly. If Huddy gets to know him too well, he might spot the switch.
Cardew might do the same thing.
Don't think it'd matter much if he did. With a record like his, he'd be delighted to keep his mouth shut for 50 quid.
Yeah. I suppose it's an idea.
Something you don't like about it?
Oh, nothing in particular, but have you noticed with this fellow Cardew, he's got an unusual sort of seat.
He managed to stay on the Maniac, all right. That's more than a lot of jockeys have done.
Yeah, but he don't look comfortable. I suppose it's the way they ride in Australia, but seems very peculiar to me.
He's got a good reputation. Rode a lot of winners last year at Melbourne.
Oh, yeah, I know the horses go for him all right, but I don't know, I still don't admire his style.
Here he comes now. I'll have a word with him. Cardew.
Oh, hello, sir.
How you doing, Cardew?
Oh, wonderful, wonderful, sir.
How did Mr. Kelly go at exercise?
Well, I hardly noticed.
What are you talking about?
Well, I had my mind on other things, so to speak.
Why do you think I pay you?
I'm only joking, He's not much of a flyer, though, is he? Come to think of it, I can't understand how he won at Wilchester.
You don't have to yet. Are you barred from riding in this country?
No, I'm afraid not.
What do you mean by that?
Oh, nothing. They just haven't caught up with me yet, that's all.
I was wondering if you'd like to ride Kelly in a race or two.
What do you mean? You mean a proper race?
Of course.
Well, that's very nice of you, Mr. Riley, but I'll think it over if it's all the same to you. Oh, I'm sorry, Cobber.
What the devil are you doing here?
I just thought I'd have a look around, old man. And I got a letter for you from the boss.
Let's see it. Don't like the look of this, Lofty.
What is it, sir?
Stevens. He's heard that Charter and Smart are still interested in the Wilchester race.
They couldn't find no evidence there.
Maybe not, but it won't make things any easier next time.
We'll have a couple of losers before then. We shan't make a win until the end of November, and by that time they'll have forgotten about the whole thing.
I hope so. It didn't make me any happier when Carter came down here.
But he didn't see nothing. You kicked him out before he had a chance to look round.
And a damn good thing, too. We're going to have to be careful. Maybe it wouldn't be a bad idea if Cardew did ride for us. Put him up on Hot Point and see how he goes.
When?
Now.
All right. Hey, Cardew, just come here a minute, will you? I've got a little job for you.
If they pull this trick again, they're going to wait until Mr. Kelly is unfancied and at a big price. He's entered at Horton in a fortnight's time and at Barstow at the beginning of November. He'll start at short odds there, I think. My guess is they're saving him for Argot.
Oh, but you don't think they're going to try it on again, do you, sir?
I hope so, otherwise they're going to get clean away with it.
But how are you going to stop them?
Well, it depends how it's worked. Hello, Carter speaking.
John, this is Ginger. You were right. There were two of them.
Is one of them a lot better than the other?
They're both as bad as each other as far as I'm concerned. But one's faster than the other, if that's what you mean.
Ginger, I've got an idea. We might put these boys out of business.
Yeah? How?
Get to know those two horses until you can tell them apart in the dark. We're going to play them at their own game.
Just a minute. Does that mean I got to ride them again?
As often as you can.
Well, I don't know what effect this is going to have on the horses, but I'll tell you one thing. It's going to ruin me.
You better write me out that bet, Hoyle.
Well, how much this time?
We'll make it a big one, say 500.
Well, it's a bit much, isn't it?
I want an excuse to lay off at least 5,000. The odds aren't so good this time.
Well, why not? Kelly lost his last two races.
Yes, but there's a couple of flyers against him. People still think he's got a chance.
Well, you don't want to overplay it.
I'm staking everything. This time it's got to be a killing. We daren't risk it again.
The same routine?
Exactly. Riley will bring Mr. Kelly down to Batley and switch him for Hot Point there. The race is at 2:30. Now, 2:20, you start putting through your bets. I come in 4 minutes later. Whatever you do, have the phones off by then. We don't want the boys coming through and laying their bets against us there. Now, 7 minutes to go. Leighton will be sure that the telephones are out of action. Hot Point will win, and with a big starting price where we stand to make a fortune.
Is there anything you're afraid of in this race?
I don't think so. Singing Cowboy's the favorite, but Hot Point will win easily. Take anything they offer you on the others.
I see. So we win £40,000 on Hot Point. I beg your pardon, Mr. Kelly. And with any luck at all, another 5,000 on the losers. Well, there's nothing like having it both ways.
We shall have to keep quiet for a long time afterwards.
Big special? No, sir. The owner's back singing Cowboy in the 2:30 tomorrow.
What about Mr. Kelly?
Not much interest, sir.
Be careful about the price. I don't want to get caught again.
All right, sir.
Hello?
Mr. Carter to see you, sir.
Oh, show him in right away.
Is that all, sir?
Yes, that's all. Thank you.
Right, thank you, sir.
Hello, Don.
Good afternoon, Mr. Vaughan.
You wanted to see me?
Yes, just a moment. What do you feel about Mr. Kelly?
Oh, on his present form, he doesn't stand a chance.
I think he might do something. You had any inquiries about it?
Nothing in particular.
Will you do something for me?
Certainly.
If anybody wants to lay off on him, will you take it?
I don't often refuse a bet.
It might be a lot of money, and you might not be able to unload it.
I'm not frightened. I don't rate you much of a bet.
I still think someone might expect him to win.
What do you know, Don?
Nothing. I just want to make sure that if anybody wants to lay off with him, you'll take it. Every penny you can get. I don't think he's a winner.
Neither do I. I'm sure that win at Wilchester was a fluke.
I doubt it, but I don't think he'll pull it off this time.
You're being very mysterious.
I'm sorry, I can't help it at this stage.
All right, leave it with me. I hope you're taking care that no funny business goes on.
Well, I wouldn't put it quite that way, but I'll make sure that you don't lose any money.
I see.
I'll be seeing you.
Yes, of course. Oh, Don, I give you a tip for that race. Singing Cowboy ought to be half a stone better. Lester?
Yes, sir?
Lay everything we get for Mr. Kelly tomorrow.
Everything, sir?
Yes, take anything you're offered. I have a feeling that's one horse who isn't going to win.
You say that call will come through on this board?
Yeah.
Not on any of those around the corner?
No.
Are you sure of that?
I ought to be. I fixed it.
Now, the important thing is to be able to explain afterwards exactly what went wrong.
What sort of thing would you like? A nice loose connection?
No, that's no good.
Oh, have me see now. Could have a bit of a short back here in the board, I suppose.
Yeah, that's more like it. There's a maintenance man here.
Yeah.
Well, fix it so he doesn't find it too soon.
I'll fix up something that'll take him a week to find.
And don't forget, you may have experts looking this out, so it's got to look genuine.
All right, I know my job. What's the idea, anyway?
You just take your money and don't ask any questions. Now get this. I want that blow out of action exactly 2:24, and I don't want it going again until the 2:30 started, right?
All right. You You got a good one for tomorrow?
Yes. Keep it yourself.
I had to keep quiet.
Try Mr. Kelly on the 2:30.
You pulling my leg?
No, take my word for it. Put a few quid on.
If I put a tenner on, and no one knew, wouldn't bring the odds down, would it?
No.
And if someone else put, say, 1,000 on it, and didn't get through to the course, wouldn't alter the starting price either, would it?
You're bright.
Trust me, chum. Take my word for it. If that blower works tomorrow afternoon, it won't be my fault.
Every time. Tail.
You sure we're all right here, Ginger? A little too close to the stables for my liking.
Oh, no, we're safe as a house here. All the boys go down to the Crown. They don't come to this pub.
What time does Mr. Kelly leave?
Oh, they've got it all worked out. About 8 o'clock he leaves, and it'll be nice and dark there. You see, it makes it nice and easy for them.
What time do they expect to get to Argos?
Somewhere around about 11. I know Lofty says he's going to have some supper before he goes to bed.
Are you quite sure you can tell those two horses apart?
Of course I am. I marked them.
How?
Oh, dear, how? Well, look, the next time you see Mr. Kelly, just have a look at his forehoof, the one on the left, will you? I'll nicked it a bit.
What?
That's all right, only a little bit. But unless they get it filled up by tomorrow, they've had it.
Well, I suppose it's all in a good cause.
Sure.
You're quite sure they haven't tumbled you?
I ought to be.
Why?
I nearly finished up riding the brute myself.
You?
Yeah, me. Didn't you know that I was a Terry in the cavalry unit before the war? I've done all sorts of things. I picked up something there, too, I can tell you.
How did you get out of having to ride?
Oh, easy. I just told them I had a bad back. And I wasn't kidding either.
Now, look, Ginger. I want you to travel down with them somehow. When you get there, you get lost, and get straight to that telephone exchange. I want to make sure that everything works out exactly as we planned.
Leave it to me.
Ready for another?
All right, Miss Leslie, you know the form. Give her the first number now. Keep the numbers coming through and keep the other telephones engaged. Right. Hello, Todd. May I speak to Mr. Todd, please? Stevens here. Oh, hello. Hello, is that Todd? Look, I'm getting a run on Mr. Kelly at Argos. Could you manage to let me have 100? Fine. Oh, yes, pretty quiet otherwise. Oh, good seeing you. Hello. Griffiths and Mortimer. Stevens here. Look, I'm getting rather a lot of stuff on Mr. Kelly at Argos. Vaughan next. Could you let me have 200? Fine. Hello, Vaughan's. May I speak to Bob Vaughan, please? Stevens here. Quickly, please. Oh, hello. Hello, is that you, Bob? Look, I'm having a run again on Mr. Kelly at Argos. Could you manage to take something off me?
Yes, certainly, old chap. What would you like?
For, say, 500?
Make it 1,000 if you like.
Oh, thanks a lot. I should be glad to be rid of it.
Right. £1,000, Mr. Kelly, 2:30 Argot. You're
Thank you.
on.
Thank you. Bye, Bob. Everyone seems very keen to take money.
You're doing very well, Mr. Stevens.
That was the idea. Hello, Slaters. Oh, this is Stevens here. Can I have 150,
You
Mr.
want to
Kelly?
lay off, sir?
No, thank you.
If he wins, we stand to lose over 7,000 on the race.
Don Carter says he won't win.
I hope he's right, sir.
So do I.
Yeah, Mr. Riley, we're in trouble.
What's the matter?
I've just taken another look at Mr. Kelly.
Yeah?
And he is Mr. Kelly.
What do you mean?
What I say. That horse out there in the paddock isn't is Mr. Kelly.
Don't be a fool. I saw him switch last night at Batley. I saw it done.
Look, something must have gone wrong. I'm telling you, that is not Hot Point.
Are you sure?
Look, my dear sir, I've spent the best part of a year with those two horses. If nobody else knows the difference, I do. I tell you, we're racing the wrong horse.
Maybe we're not too late. Get on to Stevens and tell him right away.
All right.
Hello, John. Can I have 50 quid, Mr. Kelly, 2:30 at Argot? Yes. Yes, I've just taken a big one on him. Right, thanks. Take that off. I told you that nobody was to get through. Never make that mistake again.
I'm sorry, sir.
Now, look. Get to the course phone.
I can't get through.
Thank heaven. Leighton's done his job properly. 2:28. In a couple of minutes, we shall have made a nice, tidy little packet, Miss Leslie. It's too easy, isn't it?
I can't get to him. All his lines are engaged.
Of course, he'll have them all off the hooks. I forgot. Maybe it's not too late. My credit's worth 1,000. Anything else could win here?
Oh, Singing Cowboy's quite a favourite.
Right. Get me 1,000 on Singing Cowboy.
I'll try.
The blower's down again.
I know.
Oh, for heaven's sake, man, why don't you do something?
I'd rather not, sir. It suits me better this way. At least, I hope it does.
Huh. What do you mean by that?
Well, I hope for once in a way we can see some of our own money back. Well?
Don't worry, everything's all right.
How did you do it?
Well, they took Mr. Kelly down to Batley last night, and they had Hot Point waiting in the stable at the Golden Eagle. So they switched them over and then went to the pub for a drink.
Well?
Well, they left me all on my own, so I switched them back again.
Well done, Ginger. This will be quite an exciting race.
They're off!
Well, we'll see if this race wins. Well done, they're over. Yeah, there's Mr. Kelly leading. Well done, Ginger.
Well, what's so good about that?
Well, didn't you see it? He jumped a foot above. Yes, that's Mr. Kelly, all right.
Yeah, it'd be funny if he wins the race, won't it?
Don't worry, he won't. He's always a quick starter. Singing Cowboy's doing well. Oh, look at him. Oh, he took that beautifully.
Blimey, I wish I'd backed him.
Well, why didn't you? I did.
I can't understand it. That's Mr. Kelly, all right.
I can. Look over there. I reckon our Ginger's Cardew is really Ginger smart.
You mean he switched them again last night?
That's exactly what I mean. That dirty little double-crossing. Still, we have a saver on Singing Cowboy anyway. I reckon we stand to lose 20,000 if Kelly doesn't win.
Oh, Kelly couldn't win this sort of race if all the rest of the horses drop dead. Come on, Cowboy, keep moving.
That's Mr. Kelly beaten. Cowboy's going to walk it. He's all on his own.
But he's not jumping too good.
It's always a shaky start if he'll get there. Greats, God, he won't, though. He's down, I tell you, he's down.
Good heavens, he is.
Well, that puts Mr. Kelly back in the race with a chance, too.
If that horse wins, we've put Mr. Stevens to something like 45,000 quid.
He could do it, you know, he could.
Come on, Kelly, keep at it. He'll do it, I know he'll do it. Mastermind's catching him up.
Blimey, why didn't I back him as well?
Come on, Mastermind, come on, come on.
It's Mr. Kelly and Mastermind. Love's Dream third, about 2 lengths behind. Mortal Hour still going well, about a length away fourth. 2 more fences to go, and they're coming up to the last but 1 now. Mastermind took that very well. He's a clear length of Mr. Kelly. Love's Dream is there well, but Mr. Kelly is fading. His jockey is showing him the whip, but he's not moving forward. Mastermind's in the lead as they come into the last jump. And here they are with Mastermind in the lead, coming up to the last jump now. And here they are, and they're up and over. And it's Mastermind or Mortal Hour as they come into the run-in. Mastermind, Mortal Hour, Love's Dream and Mr. Kelly getting tailed off now. And at the post, it's Mastermind, Mortal Hour and Love's Dream with a very tired Mr. Kelly fourth.
Well, I reckon let's put the kibosh on old Stevens, eh?
I don't know how I'm going to explain this one to the stewards, Don.
Oh, not very much to explain, sir. Mr. Kelly lost, the favourite foe. Nothing to worry about.
I should think there's quite a lot to worry about. If only I knew exactly what had happened.
Well, you don't have to, do you, sir?
No. No, perhaps I'd better not.
Well, that settles it, Ginger.
No, thanks. Just cigars. Well, what a day. Oh, I knew there's something I forgot to tell you, Don.
Oh, what's that?
Well, you know, I don't think I'll ever switch those horses again.
Why not?
Well, you know that sort of white marking powder some of the police boys use at times?
Yeah?
It's very hard to shift, isn't it?
What are you driving at?
No, nothing at all, really. Only that Hot Point has got the loveliest white chest now you've ever seen. And he's going to have it for a long, long time.
Nice work, Ginger.